everyone. Welcome back to another amazing episode of 52 Authors, 52 Weeks. Today, I am joined by Holly Raychelle Hughes, author of Real, Not Perfect: How to Become Your Happy, Authentic Self. Welcome to the show, Holly.
Like, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited because we were chatting before she hit record and she's amazing. So I can't wait to see where this goes.
Who, me?
Yes.
So, Holly, before we get into the book, and it's hard for usually I have my authors introduce themselves at the beginning, and I don't want to go too deep into the book because they need to get their own copy. And this is my own copy. And you know how you know? See what it says here? From the library of. I stamp all of my books. I'm a nerd. But Holly, please tell our listening, viewing audience about you, and then we'll start to get into the book. I'm so excited because this is going to be like a college lecture.
I love that you say that. I love your reaction to it. So I'm an intuitive healer. I'm an author and a speaker. I worked in LA in film and TV for 18 years. I always wanted to be a writer. And when my life shifted and we moved, I dedicated myself to that part of my craft. And I won some awards, Barnes and Noble Awards for my essays, which was super cool. But I always had these gifts. And I was like, well, what if I try to help people? What if I learn to control and understand this blessing that I have and help others? And really that's where it all begins.
Well, let me just tell you guys, Holly gave you the Cliff Notes version because when you read chapter 1, I don't know if you all caught this, so I have to just call this out. Holly said, I am an intuitive. Now, went to college, so I consider myself to be pretty intelligent, but I was like, intuitive? What is that? Now, normally, Lisa would Google the word, but I said, wait a minute, let's just keep reading because in the book, Holly actually tells you what an intuitive is. And so, one of the things that I want to say as we have this conversation today, I think you all really need to be open to what Holly is, what gifts Holly has. And I think for some of you, you're going to say, oh, no, I don't believe in any of that. But I think it was really easy for me to understand because of my upbringing in the church. But I
Mhm.
won't say anything else about that part. But um, Holly, we have to um, talk a little bit about, and you mentioned this in the book, but about what an intuitive is. But let's talk a little bit more about what your gift is all about.
Ooh, open-ended like that. I love that. So I just see, feel, and hear things that many people don't or choose not to. I'm going to start saying it that way. A really simple way to explain what my gifts are is, have you ever walked into a room after someone had a fight? And you can feel like the discomfort or sizzle in the air. I can feel those things all the time coming off of everybody. And I have to be very intentional when to feel them and how open to feel it and when not to, right? Because I don't want to be in your business if you don't want me in your business. It's not very pleasant sometimes, but when I work with people, and really what the book is to be able to reach people who maybe don't know me, to do some of their own healing, it really is to tap into your emotional and spiritual truths. So it's very close to prayer. It's so very close to prayer. I just like to tell people that maybe I hear the answers you don't or can't just yet. I don't think I have any great power. I just think I have a gift, and it was given to me by someone far more loving than me. And I just get to share and express it.
Wow. So let me just tell you, when I first started reading the book, I was like, oh no, we're going to be on this interview and she's going to be telling me my whole life, all the things. And I said, well, we only got 30 minutes. And because in the book, as you talk about your client interactions, I literally feel like I'm in the session with you as
I
you're
love that.
having these interactions. And I'm just like, whoa. One of the things that I really was so happy to see was that you talked about the emotional aspect. And I'm in the middle of writing my second book. And in the book, I talk about weight, WEIGHT.
Hmm.
And when people first hear that word, they think I'm talking about physical weight, right? But just through um, reading, relaxing, crying, praying, I have resolved that there are, I'm not going to even say the number because I can't tell everybody about the book just yet, that there's XYZ number of weights. And one of the weights that I talk about is the emotional weight that we cover. So as I started to explore your book, I said, whoa, Holly has confirmed for you that many of us are carrying so many things. And I told you before we started recording, this subtitle is a little misleading because how to become your happy, authentic self. Once you start reading the book, you're like, oh, she about to get in my business.
For real. For
And so,
real.
can I handle this? And so, in the book, when you talk about how I love how you refer to yourself in the book. How can Holly help you? And then my favorite parts, let me get the right word. Are they called Holly moments? Oh, Holly's healing tips, right? So I feel like it's a girlfriend literally having a conversation with me. And the only difference is we're not in the room together. But you talk about how the most miraculous thing about how I use the incredible gifts which that you've been blessed to have is that if there are any kids in the building, tell them to leave right now. I'm able to cut through all the BS and get to the heart of the client's issue. And what I love about that is, let's just be honest. It's 2025. We got fake everything. Fake body parts, fake hair, fake nails, uh eyes, teeth. We got everything that's so fake. But when you start to peel back all the layers of all the things, there's this really cool, amazing person inside of you. But many of us run from that amazing person.
Yeah, because it requires vulnerability. Sorry, something got into my throat suddenly. Another visual, like as you're explaining what I wrote, another way that I feel that maybe people listening they might not be able to imagine revealing themselves. So what if I help remove the cage that you're in that you didn't know you were in? What is your normal, or what were you conditioned to put yourself into that was never meant for you? like just literally sit on that. What I love about like the way you were describing my book too is kind of my personality. Like this is who you're going to get in the room, right? Except I'm probably a little, now I'm pretty sarcastic. I'm very loving and kind, but I'm very direct. And I just don't like passive aggressive. If you came to me for help and I want to be able to give it, I have to figure out how honest or how quickly you can move. Again, which is why it's in the book. I will lull you into a wonderful sense of calm and safety. And then I'm going to say, and then get real. And then What are you going to own? Are you going to stop blaming your parents? Are you going to stop blaming the horrible things that happened to you? Because, my life wasn't just like super easy, right? So we all have some sort of backstory. We all come into a family legacy. We all have history that's been given to us that we inherit just from being born into this family. And what do you do with all of that? And what do you want to own? What do you want to champion? And what do you want to outgrow?
Holly, Holly, Holly. I felt like you were sitting here with me while I was reading the book. Let me just show you what I wrote on one of the pages. The stories that you tell yourself. Because I think many of us are not honest with ourselves. And for me, I have been on this journey to just peel back all of the life layers that are on me and get back to the 4-year-old version of me who was fearless, didn't have a care in the world, not always in a hurry, who's just taking life one step at a time. So,
And
Holly,
finding joy in everything, right? Like at 4 years old, you're not, waking up. Like I woke up so cranky today. I was like, oh, I better shake this before. Like I don't want to be cranky. But, and for whatever my own stuff, because I'm a person too, right? And even though I'm connected and can tap into this divine love and light, it doesn't mean that I don't have an insurance bill that's annoying me sitting over there, right? Like there is a reality. So in my book, I often talk about rhythm because I don't believe in balance. I think that's a big old fashioned lie that we were fed. And I'm a dancer, so rhythm works better anyway. So, what is the rhythm? Sometimes, even though I know there are different aspects of my life, as in everyone's life, that where maybe work deserves more time and attention, maybe your family, maybe you. Maybe you came across this today because some part of you knows and is aching for someone to be like, yes, it's okay to take care of yourself right now. Because what you know, honey, it's not working. Babe, this is not working. And your
listen.
friend is so tired of you talking about the same story. Stop talking to your friend. Like
Mm,
if they're just nodding and you're the downer every time you have a girls' night, stop. Do something about it. You don't have to do massive life-changing things when you decide to change. Just see, I get really emotional, so I might even cry. The idea of see, I am just accepting that this isn't good enough, just letting that thought and that feeling, it's like I'm really crying. Like just knowing that that's not good enough. And what if it's better? What if it can get better? What if it can change? Just that step without knowing how and why and what and a million things, because that'll stop you, because it's scary, it's hard. Who's championing you? Well, I don't know who's championing. Maybe a stranger will. Maybe someone you just met or heard, or maybe listening to other people, or maybe making a new friend. You don't know, but maybe you could just, I say, ask the universe for help.
you know, one of the things in that asking the universe for help, I think the first step is you have to open your heart to needing that help. And in the book, you talk about the healing homework,
Mm,
opening your heart. And first of all, I want everybody to know that we're not talking about that you're not enough. You
mm-mm,
are enough, right?
correct.
But opening yourself for the more that life has to offer to you. And I love how in the book you challenge us to stop and reflect. So, like, I really smiled on page 29 because you ask us to write down all the words you use to define yourself. What will other people say about you? And so, funny thing is, when I was writing my first book, I text about, I don't know, about 40 people. And I said, tell me 3 words that you would use to describe me. And then, of course, I typed them all up, put them in alphabetical order to get rid of the duplicates, and just really reflected on, am I who I think I am? Am I truly walking in my purpose? Am I in alignment with my assignment in life? And when people sent the words to me, I was like, oh yeah, that is me. But sometimes you don't take a moment to um, get to know yourself. You're
Yeah, I
so
would love to know
busy.
which words repeated about you. See, now I'm fascinated.
Oh, and see, the
Ooh,
book is,
Dr.
let me
Lisa, what are
see.
the words?
Wait a minute. Wait. Let me scoot over here. And I honestly don't know if I know. This is sad. But I spend so much time reading everybody else's words. I don't even know if. Oh yeah. Oh, why did I turn to the page? So now we're not talking about my book, but I'm just gonna show
I
Holly this
know that.
list. But this is in the on one of my books, and you see it says words that describe me, and I put them all in the book. Wait a minute, I gotta. When I
Get your
wrote
other
this book, I
glasses.
wasn't really wearing these reading glasses, but now it's on. Oh, the list is so long, Holly. But
Give me three. Give me your top three.
accomplished, assertive. Oh my God, motivational. And they said motivated, motivational, motivator. I put them all in here because I wanted other people to um just know that people are seeing you for who you present yourself as, and is that who you see yourself as, right? Like
Yeah.
really getting to know you.
hmm I also like to when like people do my program because I built a program around my book, right? So we take the book and then every day I make you dig deeper. So my question would be like, are all of your defining words actions or are they about you?
It's a good question.
Right? Because we have periods of time where we're one thing or another. Like when I was younger, I was like the reliable one. I wanted to be steady because I felt like there was chaos, right? And then I would get resentful of being reliable. And now when people are very, I'll use the word corporate, and they meet me and they're like, you're so, and it's always condescending, quirky. And I was like, and in my head, I look at them and I'm like, and you're miserable and you're full of BS. But okay, I guess I'm quirky because I have the benefit of not kowtowing into a corporate environment. And I've done my fair share of years in corporate, and man, that just sucked my soul right out of me. And I'm not saying that everyone in the world should quit, and there's not a reason and a rhyme, and there's like lesson in that. And you know, please make money and pay your bills. I'm never going to be the person to tell you not, but it's okay. Like when I say I'm quirky, it really is a lot different than when someone who doesn't understand me says it. Like as if I'm still in middle school and they knew me then. They're like, you were always weird. I've had people reach out to me and be like, you were always weird. I'm like, thanks. I appreciate that. Because,
Holly,
right?
Holly, listen, you didn't say this. Lisa said this. There are many people who are allowing themselves to be held hostage by salary and benefits.
Oh, yeah.
Hostage. And they won't explore what's really deep in their heart to do because they are afraid. I too was afraid to let go of the salary and benefits, but then I realized I'm the talent.
You
Why do I
are.
got to be stuck in this environment when I can have such more of an impact if I drop them and focus on me? And when I did that, it's like this weight fell off of me. So I will tell you, my new book is titled Shed the Weight. Because there are so many things that keep holding us back. We have to take the time to heal because I don't know about you, Holly, but I want to live life in more abundance. And I can't do that if I'm holding on to all of these things that happened when I was 9 years old, right?
Right. I talk about that in my book too,
I
right? I was
know.
like, you're so good at that segue. And it's like the part of like, it's not whether the glass is half empty or full, it's how long you've been holding it and how many you're holding. Right? You can have a quote unquote corporate or regular job and still heal and fulfill your needs and have expression. It's about that rhythm, but one thing should not outshine the other. You should just learn to love that shine in you. And I'm not telling you that every day is going to be happy because life doesn't happen like that. But I will challenge you to choose people who are uplifting around you because life will give you drama. The people around you don't need to do it.
Some of the people who are in your circle are the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Truth be told, but we don't want to let them go because we're comfortable. And I remember listening to Joe Osteen, who talked about if you're the smartest person in your bunch, you need to get a new crew,
Mm-hmm.
because you don't get to learn if everybody is at the same place. So I like to have a diverse mix of friends and colleagues because I want to continue to learn. And I didn't know it. The reason for doing 52 authors, 52 weeks was to continue to help me learn and grow while simultaneously helping others because there's a whole crew of us that love to read and have realized that we learn more in books than we learned in college, truth be told.
Don't even, let's not open that one right now. Let's not even start that one. It's funny. I have very different groups of friends with very different interests, and sometimes they mix and sometimes they don't. But I I love being quiet in those spaces sometimes. Which could be hard for me because like I am kind of chatty. I'm an expressive introvert, so like after I'm out and about, I really will withdraw and be quiet at home. But around my friends, especially like my dancing friends and different people who are trying to support each other and meet each other where they are, when I'm quiet, I get to see what's important to them. I get to see what they're reading. I get to see what perspectives interest them or are curious about them or what are just fun reads for them because when you're always the one talking in the room, you'll miss out.
Holly, you literally, so let me just tell you, I am very outgoing, but there are some spaces that I operate in that I'll be in the room and won't say a word. But I learned so much because some people always have to be the one that's in the front. But if you're in the front all the time, you miss out on all the learning opportunities. And I will tell you, just like you said, I'm out and about. And when I come in, I'm down. And my husband said this the other day because I was like, oh, I got to go find my phone. He's like, you do that a lot. You just kind of leave your phone upstairs. Because you know why? I spent too much time being attached to the phone. And now I don't want to be attached to it.
Yeah,
So I just leave it upstairs.
I love that. I unplug an hour before I go to bed, and my phone is not in my bedroom. I have an alarm clock. I have an
Old school.
old school. This thing is so old. It's got a CD player in it.
Oh my God, Holly, there are some folks listening to this that is like,
What is
what is the
that?
CD?
What is this CD? I know it's retro. It really is over. It's like I got it in 1999 ish. Like that thing is old. I think it's what is that vintage? It's vintage now. But I am one of sometimes, almost always, I'll ask a client, "Do you use your phone as the alarm?" Right? And they're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Why? You have literally that energy." Like, I love, I scroll. We all doom scroll. If I told you I didn't, it's a lie. But like, I have a big trip, a solo trip coming up. It's like my tagline. Like, my warning label is I will talk about Korea because I'm obsessed. And when I go there, I'm meeting the women that I had met like a year and a half ago. I went and did a solo trip in Luxembourg, Denmark, Poland, and another girl from Boston. And that's who I met when I was there. And we're all meeting again. And my phone is not to do anything but take literally, I think, 2,000 pictures last time I went, because every moment I want to like, I just want to, it's just so delicious to me. And it's more about that. And those trips for me are self-care because I giggle like a 15-year-old girl and I am not 15. If my alarm clock is 26 years old, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I get to be there. I'm not a mom. I'm not a wife. Of course, I check in with my family. I don't want anyone to think like be ridiculous, but it is satisfying a curiosity and a passion about a culture and a history that I knew so little about. And I realized my ignorance and I became curious. And that just opened the door to so much that brings me joy now. So like you just never know what like God is leading you in a way. You like it really started with a Netflix saying, "Hey, I see you watched this movie. Do you want to check this one?" Gateway drug, K-drama. That was it. I was hooked. I'm there. I'm there. Full in K-pop, K-dramas, all the things.
The
So
algorithms
what?
are real, right?
I love it.
So, Holly, one of the things I want to make sure we talk about, um, and this is something that you listed as one of your speaking topics, is about how to say no.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about that because I think some people, me included, formerly overachievers, had to, said yes to everything until I learned that no was a complete sentence.
Yeah. I mean, I like to tell people that you forgot that you heard no as a way of protection the first time you heard it. No, don't run in the street. No, don't stick your hand in a fire. No, don't put needles up your nose, like whatever crazy. No, it was crayons. A lot of kids used to put crayons up their nose, right? Like, no, don't do that because your parents, hopefully, were trying to protect you and save you from danger. And somewhere along a line, I remember I looked it up and it was like in Psychology Today or some magazine like that, where it explained that in our teenage mind, what happens is we suddenly start hearing no as an invalidation. You don't, and then it's like, no, you don't understand me. You say, no, you don't understand me. You don't honor me. You don't respect me. And probably your parent is still trying to protect you, good or bad, however that is. And then I find as women, saying no comes with guilt and shame. And then I'm not good enough, and you won't think I'm good, and you'll forget me if I say no. And I know comes with a tax, and that means I have to give more of myself. And if I don't please you, you'll disappear. And then that all gets conflated instead of just saying no. I mean, in the story, in my book, I tell the story about not being able to say no over a cup of coffee I didn't even want because I was the best of people pleasers. I mean, I excelled at it. And for me, someone would bring me a cup of coffee. It was like a fancy macchiato. Like, I just don't drink that. Just, I like a latte, 2 pump vanilla latte if you're going to Starbucks, but otherwise just a regular coffee with cream and sugar. I'm good. And he would kept bringing it. And I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I was like all freaked out in like 9 months of thinking about it before I was like, hey, could you like not do that? And I was like, they're going to scream at me. I'm going to be told I'm terrible. I'm not kind. Da, 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 da. They're like, okay. They think I didn't care at all. And that was like, for me, the beginning of realizing that I could be honest. And it took me many years more to actually be able to be honest, like fully honest kind of person, instead of like clamping down and dampening me and what I like and what I wanted, because I never asked for that because I thought it was my job to make you happy. But you can't love anyone enough to make them happy. That's their journey.
They have to love themselves. And it's okay. I think a lot of times we're afraid to say no for how fear of how it's going to come across. And so that's where your healing process, you learn how to say, I really appreciate you bringing me this additional cup. But honestly, I am so full right now. I think I'm good.
Yeah.
Right. Instead of, I didn't ask you to bring me another cup.
Right. Right. Or I like to tell people when you're learning how to set a boundary or learning how to say no, you're not going to be good at it. So what? Right? Like a little bit of grace for yourself. I often, when I work with people on boundaries, it's either they set them too hard or not strong enough. And I like to explain there are many different kinds depending on who the person is and the relationship in your history and how much of a chance you really want to give someone.
Absolutely. So, Holly, we are almost out of time, but I wanted to allow you to talk a little bit more because I really want them to buy the book. What would you say to that reader who's like, why should I buy your book over someone else's book who's talking about becoming their authentic self? What happens um, as they explore your book?
Ooh, no one's ever asked me that. That's a delicious question. I think you can hear the same message from many people, but it's how it's delivered. And if you are curious about opening your heart, or if you're curious about yourself in a way that you want to explore what things maybe you've been too scared to explore, then my book is both beautifully gentle in the exploration and exceedingly powerful because you can go as deep as you want to go. And because it's in a book, it's a safe space.
Yes, it is such a safe space. And I think I told you this before we started recording. I love and I might have mentioned this, but I have to say it again. I love two things: the Holly's healing tip. Being your true self will feel better than any version you pretend to be. And I absolutely love homework. And it's not the typical homework, right? For me as a reader, I am a quirky reader because I am reading, highlighting, underlining, circling,
You're an active
reflecting.
reader.
Right. I'm an active reader because I want to be able to walk away from the book with something that I didn't have when I started. And definitely yours was knowledge that I did not otherwise have. But then also starting to understand others and giving them more grace,
Hmm.
because I have this person in my life who clearly needs Holly. She has so much healing that she needs to go through. And I heard her mention to someone, "Oh, that's just Lisa." Right? Like I don't know what I was doing, but she said that to that person about me. And I'm like, girlfriend, you got some stuff, some historical stuff that you need to shed. But I just literally just look at her
Hmm.
and don't try to talk to her about the healing that I know she needs. Instead, I'm just like hoping that my spirit will transfer over into her and she'll realize that she needs to take the steps to heal
She
because
doesn't
I'm
know who
so
she is
angry.
without her pain and her mask, though. Like I could feel her through you.
Oh,
And if you
Holly.
take away her bravado, she's nothing and she's just so scared. And so she's running. And so she just kind of bumps into people and situations and then leaves, right? She's like a little chaos and then she leaves.
She's like a hurricane,
Well,
Holly.
I was being nice because I don't know her personally and I'm only feeling her through you. But yeah, I think my thing for her is more of instead of giving her space, I would give her a drop of love and that'll scare her.
Yeah, Holly, she needs lots of drops.
She needs lots of drops, but it's not for you to do. And I don't know how ready she is to hear. So as a friend, right, you can like love her, be like, hey, you're struggling. I see you're struggling. I'm sorry. I'm not the best person to talk to right now for that, but I hope you get it. And like, see, that's putting them in their place a bit, but kindly.
I like that, Holly. I'm gonna have to listen to this recording so I can write that down, because that is a nice way to say it. It sets you free because you said it, and then you walk away like mic drop.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like I have all sorts. Like I have a friend who like suffers with depression, and sometimes I can't, and it's not because I don't love her. It's just like I don't have a capacity for that right now, and that goes back to being honest, and that goes back to being able to say no. I'm like, I see you suffering. I am so sorry. I can't be more for you right now, but I can like spam you with reels from Instagram. That is what I can do, and that might not be enough. I'm sorry.
Holly, I will tell people in a heartbeat. I don't have the emotional real estate for that today. And I'm okay with saying it because I have to protect me first and
Yes.
foremost. So, Holly, we are like out of time. But before we go, I really would like for you to leave our listening, viewing audience with something. Um, if you, let me just say this first. If you know in your heart that you need to start your journey, this is a great place to start, because literally reading the book is like talking to some friends. And Holly is in the book just like, and Mia and I did such and such, and we were talking about such and such, and it will really help you start to peel back those layers. But Holly, leave our listening viewing audience with something that you want to share, but then also please tell them all the places they can find you, so that once they read the book, or start the book, maybe they want to get into that class that you have that's based on the book, because they're like, wait a minute, I went through the first chapter. This was a lot. I need more.
Mm. Well, come. It's easier to tell you where I am. Come find me on Instagram at Holly Hughes Intuitive. I'm always there. My next cohort for Real Not Perfect is starting at the end of the summer, so feel free to reach out to me. Let me know you heard me here, and I'll send you something special. Just
Wait a
saying.
minute. Wait a
Just
minute. What are they getting?
I don't know. Let's figure it out. Like, I have to send you something. Like, if I know you're a reader, I'll have to figure that one out. But like, I think I'll send you something. Just let me know. I'm a woman of my word. I think I kind of want to make everyone smile for whatever reason. So one of my favorite Holly's healing tips is, drumroll, life's too short to wear uncomfortable bras or be in uncomfortable relationships. And that one goes way deep, because I know you. I know every woman has the bra that pokes, the one that's too tight, the one that's too loose, the one that you wear that's dead that should just be let go of already, the one that used to fit, but babe, your body's not that way anymore. Just get over it, move on. Just like, don't squeeze yourself into something that doesn't fit.
Say that again, Holly, for the people in the back.
Do not squeeze yourself into something, a situation, a relationship, a work, a situationship. Don't even get me started on those. Into a persona that doesn't fit. Because you are amazing and beautiful and kind and curious. And, sometimes you have a temper, but I'm okay with that. I hope you know what you have passion for. And I hope you find something to get curious about. And most of all, I hope that you heal enough that the next gift that this life has that is just waiting for you to heal this can be given to you. That's really what I hope for you.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Well, listen, I truly have enjoyed. We didn't even talk about this, but Holly Raychelle Hughes.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
we'll talk about that afterwards. Real, not perfect. How to become your happy, authentic self. And listen, one thing that I know to be true, there will come a time in your life when you accept, when you start to realize that you need to heal. And that's my desire for everyone, that they will start that healing journey. Stop saying, well, I'm this way because when I was 9 years old, you got to let those things go because they like weigh on you,
Ooh,
which to
that's your
me,
book. That's your book. They weigh on
listen,
you.
so many people have these things that's just sitting right here that goes with them every single day, and that's too much to carry.
It is. You know how whoever's still listening, the one way to check if you're carrying a weight that maybe doesn't belong to you or you don't need to carry. I want you to not even change how you're breathing, but I want you to close your eyes. I'll do it with you so you can. And like, just sit here for a second. And are you breathing? Are you breathing shallow in your chest, or are you actually letting your diaphragm move? If you're not letting your diaphragm move, you're carrying something, you're thinking about something, you're stressed. I don't know, so many things. But that's like the simple way to check in if you are unconscious because you're so busy being busy.
So busy being busy. Woo! A lot of us can definitely relate to that. As I've slowed down in life, I'm like, how did you do all of that? And now, and I kid you not. I just told someone the other day. Oh, it was yesterday. I told my aunt that I used to thrive on being busy, but now I don't want to do all of that. I'm done
Mm-hmm.
doing all of that. I
Because
want to
you
do
weren't
the bare
thriving,
minimum.
that was your coping mechanism. That's how you
Yeah.
survive, right? I'm busy. I can be good. I can do that for you. I can do that for you. I can do that for you. And I'll be good. I'll be the good one. You'll need me. Blah.
Now, Holly, it's like you text me and ask me to do something, and I look at that text message like, I'm gonna get back to you maybe tomorrow, but not today, because I want to tell you no, but I just gotta get my words together. How I'm gonna tell you no, but I'm definitely telling you no. I'm not gonna backtrack. I'm not doing it. I'm just not doing it. And
You
I
need
don't
a
want to
meme
do
of
it,
your eyes. You need a meme
Holly, because I
of
don't
how
want
you're
to
like,
do it.
yeah, no.
I don't want to do it. And when you get to that point, it's so freeing. It's so freeing. Well, Holly, I have truly enjoyed our time together. I am really hoping that others get their own copy of the book because it definitely will take you on a journey. And what I like about it, again, I have to say this, it's like a girlfriend having a conversation, but it's also like I could visualize the sessions that you're having because in the book you can, talk about how you have your room set
Mm-hmm.
up and the environment. It's like I'm sitting on the other side of a window. You can't see me, but I could see in, and I'm just experiencing this person going through their healing journey once they accept that they need to go through it, and you take them through the process.
Absolutely.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for joining another episode of 52 Authors, 52 Weeks. We'll see you next week. Bye bye.
Bye.